Here we have the all-new 2023 Cadillac Escalade V Series. This Escalade V comes in the beautiful black Raven. And then we have our jet black perforated leather interior. The powertrain of this Escalade V is going to consist of a 6.2 liter supercharged V8 engine, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And this one's optioned out with a few features, including a dealer installed Onyx package, which is about $4,800. So sticker price is right at $161,000. But love that menacing front end there. We do get our LED headlamps along with our LED signature lights there. And just a fantastic look. I love the mesh grille here. Just looks nasty. That's the best way to describe it. Just a nasty looking SUV here. And then down here, these wheels, these are gonna be 22s. And then we do get passive keyless entry on the front two doors. 3-stage heated cooled seats for the driver, front passenger. Power door lock controls are there. Memory seats, just hit set and then hold the button you want to set it to. And then we do have one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front. Power folding mirrors with blind spot monitors. And then a rear window lock there. We can control the power mirrors here, and then we can turn those on and off, picking the side there. But love the door panel look. I just love this black and how it's pretty much, it envelops the entire vehicle from the inside to the outside. The bottle holders there. And then we do have our air suspension we can control, drive modes, trailer brake controller. And then we have our electronic parking brake, push to engage to the brake, press it again to disengage. Brightness for the gauge cluster. We're gonna pop the hood for later. Power tilt and telescope steering wheel. And then we'll get to the digital gauge cluster later, but on the side here we can go through our trips. And then we can also toggle what we want to show up on the gauge cluster there, and then our heads-up display controls are right there. But here we have our power driver's seat. We get 4-way power lumbar as well as massage function there. That's the button for the massage. But a pretty comfortable seat. No surprise there. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna check out this rear leg room, make sure the seat's all the way back. So there's the leg room there, and that's with the seat all the way back. So just the hairs of my knees are barely touching the back here. And these seats are pretty wide, and I do have it leaned back quite a bit. So nothing too crazy. You can still fit a full-size 6'3" adult like myself back here with little issue. The only thing is the sunroof. I have about a 1/2 inch of headroom due to that being there. But over here, we can go through our Hulu, YouTube. We can hook up HDMI ports, wireless headphones, and then all of our settings are right in there. You can control the screen brightness, so on and so forth. So a pretty easy system to use. And of course, for the Hulu and all that, you want to have your Wi-Fi hotspot hooked up. But we do get 3-stage heated outboard seats. Stickers in the way. For the outboard passengers. And then we can control fan direction here, fan speed, temperature, and then auto mode is right there. Cup holders are in here. Then we do have the USB-Cs and the HDMI ports there for the rear entertainment, and then the 3-prong household plug-in. And this one just had the plastic taken off, so it's a little messy in here, but there's a space behind there. Not bad. I tested this out in a Tahoe yesterday, and it's pretty much the same platform. So you could fit back there, it's just not comfortable. But I love the hanger hooks here. We could probably hang 2 plastic hooks if we need to. Vents are integrated in the ceiling there. And then we do get the premium dome lights throughout. And of course, with this AKG sound system, speakers are everywhere. But a huge shout out to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Escalade V today. I'll leave a link below in the description if you all are interested in this one, because these don't last long here, even with how much money they're bringing. But back in here, we do get our full LED tail lamps. Let's see if we can get a close up of that exhaust. So again, just a menacing vehicle. Spare tire. And you just click the Cadillac crest to open the lift gate there. And there's a view of the space behind the third row. And even though this isn't an ESV, you still get pretty good amount of space. And then we have our power folding third row there. Fold that down, up, and then we can stop it anywhere we need to. And then we can power release the second row. Another household plug-in back there. So even though it's a street monster, it's still an Escalade. And that's what makes these so awesome. You can fit the whole family in here and take them on vacation, but you can also drag race a Corvette if you want to. So I had to switch sides for whatever reason. That seat is not wanting to fold down, but it hasn't been through service yet, so it might just be something that needs to be fixed. But there's how that seat folds down. If you need to fold flat, you can run longer objects from the third row all the way up to the front with everything folded the way it needs to be. And then if you want to use it for a passenger again, you can just pull that up and slide it back. But we're gonna do this in a different order. So we're gonna take a look underneath the hood. There's that 6.2 liter supercharged V8. And then we'll take a look at the front passenger seat. So same adjustability as the front. Then we get that massage function as well. And I love this storage pocket here. It's actually pretty roomy that you get. There's a 12 volt there, and you get that on both sides. Lockable glove compartment. And I love the trim throughout as well. But we'll take a quick look at the window sticker here. So great thing is with this powertrain, you might be a little worried about how long it'll last, but you do get that 6-year, 70,000 mile warranty. And then a 36 speaker sound system. Just so much you get. And then again, that Onyx package is dealer installed, which this isn't here yet, but we also get Super Cruise, so we're gonna try and test that out. And then with everything else, $161,000. But I mean, if I had the money, I'd get one of these. It's a beast, it really is. And the sound is just incredible. Let's hop in the driver's seat here. So we do get a nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Heat toggles right there. And then let's go right into the screen here. So this is our home page for the most part. We can go through all of that here, and I like that we can have all this set up. So navigation, audio, Bluetooth, all the important stuff. And then we have the automatic park assist and then the parking sensors right there. And then we do get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. And then again, we get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but that's gonna be wirelessly. So that's what it showed on the window sticker there. And then I love this, and I've said this in my other Escalade reviews, I love this vehicle information page here. I can go through and really look at what I wanna see. So oil pressure, temp, or transmission fluid temp, especially if you're gonna be driving this thing like you should, it's nice to have all this available to you. So you know how much is left on your brake pads, you know how much is left on your air filter, you know how your coolant's looking. So pretty sweet. And it's nice and big there, and then it's easy to just go back to your home page. But settings are here. Of course, there are tons of settings with this being an Escalade, just with it being a Cadillac in general. But you can change your language there. And if you want to turn buckle to drive on, Super Cruise, lane change, you can set that. I like to do turn signal activated because that likes to do a lot of stuff by itself that I don't necessarily agree with. So you have that, and then you can even search for a settings keyword because there are so many settings. But to the navigation screen here, it's a pretty nice system, and I like that you don't have to necessarily set everything up like you do in the newer Tahoes and Yukons, and you still have that very easy to use navigation screen here with it being, you don't have to get a subscription with this, so I like having that. And you can search for fuel, parking, all of that. It's pretty easy to get it the way you want. Now for trailering, go in here and you can go through so much stuff. So you can set up your maintenance. Once you have a trailer profile set up, you can really get into making sure that your trailer is always in tip-top shape, everything's set up the way it needs to be. Just crazy. And then we even have a video recorder. So when you have an SD card set up, you can have that working. Camera angles, that's the front, you get 360 on the side. There's a wide angle view, an overhead view, curbside view. There's the backup camera. And there's the 3D overhead, so I can see somebody walking over there in high definition. So just great stuff here. And then for the rear media, I can control that from up here as well. So I can turn the screens on and off, mute them, whatever. And then we have ambient lighting as well, so I can control all those there. My arm's actually getting kind of sore. Just, again, so much that you can do in that screen. But down here we do have our climate controls. I'm gonna close this sunroof because it's getting a little reflective in here. But we do have dual zone automatic climate controls. We can control the temperature here, and that's for the passenger side. Fan speed here. We can cut the whole system on and off there. We can set our auto mode, then turn that off. We just control the fan speed and then get it off of the auto direction. We could just pick a fan direction there. Then AC toggle, sync, unsync. And then for the shifter, hit this button on the side, pull down for drive, and then you can just tap down for manual mode. And you do get these nice paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Then tap up for neutral, hit the button, pull all the way up for reverse, press P for park. And then we do have our V mode there. We could toggle that. And then lane keep assist with lane departure, automatic brake hold, and then shortcuts for the screen. If you want to go through everything just using this knob here, you can do that. So I like using the knob. Once you get used to it, it's pretty cool. And you have shortcuts for all of your important stuff as well. And then this is your volume knob, which I'm so glad we don't have to go through the screen anymore. But you can click that to mute it, and then you can hold it to power the system down. Hazards are right here. USB-C, USB-A port, cup holders, little storage, and you can fold all that away. Wireless charging pad is gonna be this pocket right here. And then this one does have the optional center console cooler, so you can keep your beverages nice and cold in here, and then you have your settings for that there. And then your USB-C, USB-A duo there, and an SD card reader. And then let's go ahead and, while that's folding back, we can power fold our third row from up front, as well as use that power lift gate, which is nice. And then we have our universal home remote right there. And then this is for the interior theft protection. We can cut that on and off. Now, we do get a power sliding panoramic sunroof, and that's one touch. And it goes all the way back, so I love that. Absolutely love that. We can tilt it as well. But there's a view of the back from up here. I'm sorry for the glare. OnStar's there, rear camera mirror, we can toggle that on and off there. And then going back to the steering wheel, blinkers are here, headlamp controls, there's auto mode, and then we can toggle the high beams there, and then automatic high beams are on, and we can flash there. And then for the windshield wiper controls, that's one time there, and then we have auto, low, high, and then we can control the sensitivity of the auto wipers there, and then we have our rear wiper here. So it's intermittent, and then that was on, that's off. Pull back for the rear wiper fluid, and then push up for the front wiper fluid. But back to the steering wheel itself, cruise there, turn that on and off. We can set, and then the gap adjust for the cruise, as well as the forward collision alert. We can adjust that there. Then we have our voice recognition controls, and then we also have our conversation enhancement. And then here we have our super cruise toggle there. And then we can go through radio stations or track lists here, and then mute button, volume controls, and then these are shortcuts for the audio or the phone, which we can pull up on the right side there. And I love this because when I click in there, then I can all of a sudden use this to toggle the radio stations. So I don't have to go to the screen there. I can just do everything from here. Love being able to do that. And then I love the V, how that's right there. And then our Super Cruise sensor right in there. But the gauge cluster, there's so much going on here. Again, you control that from there, that middle part, and then I can go to gauge there, or I can go to map. I can pull up the camera, and we do get the augmented reality there. So great picture, and then night vision right in there. But pretty cool system all the way around. And that's actually the sensor for the Super Cruise, and this is just the light indicator. There's the push button start, and then heads up display right in there. If I forgot that, control for that, we can control the height, brightness, and then the settings to change what's shown there. We can do that from the settings as well. But here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this Escalade V out on the road for a quick test drive. So starting the test drive in the Escalade V, what I find so fascinating about this is it doesn't drive like a V series Cadillac. Well, I guess in a sense it does, because what V series, especially stock ones, tend to be is fast, but also extremely comfortable. And they're pretty much extremely Cadillac in the sense that the ride is good, the steering feels good, it still feels luxurious. But then when you put your foot to the floor, all of a sudden you feel like you're in a Z06 or a ZL1, something like that. Especially with this supercharged powertrain. But I'm gonna put it in a manual mode, put the V on, and then just give it a little bit of throttle, not too much. As this only has 5 miles on it, I don't want to redline it, but I'll tell you, this thing is nasty. It really is. So I'm gonna get over and test out the Super Cruise. If I can get all the way in the lines. There it is. So there's a Super Cruise there. And what's great about this is, again, with it being an Escalade, it's just, put in a drive. It's so smooth, just ridiculously smooth. This ride quality is insane. Just impressive in every sense. And it's just so quiet. Even like I have everything turned up here. You can see the steering is sporty, suspension is sporty, engine sporty, the brake feel, sound, everything. But still, it can't help but be a Cadillac Escalade. And I just find that fantastic, especially for people who want to be able to haul their families around. They want something stupid fast, but then they also want something that's extremely comfortable. And then that growl from the motor, gosh, I mean, the exhaust is just crazy. So this thing is just, for $150,000 the starting price, and this one stickering right at $162,000. And this is before any dealer markup is, I'm pretty sure that's still going on because people are still able to pay for it, or still wanting to pay for it, I guess. It's just impressive what all you get for that money. And honestly, for me, I would make this a competitor for something like a G63 from Mercedes or top of the line Range Rover, because like those vehicles, I think the Range Rover offers that 5-liter supercharged V8, and you get that in the autobiography and load it out. You can be looking at 180 to 200,000 after everything's said and done. And then the same thing with a G63, that's probably much more actually. But I feel like, just like the Z06 Corvette, this is kind of the bargain in terms of a performance SUV that is a luxury SUV as well. And honestly, I think it's the best looking out of those. Now the new Range Rovers that come out like 23, 24, that new body style, you either love it or hate it, and I'm not a big fan of it. I haven't actually got a chance to review one, but just not my cup of tea looking at pictures and videos online. And the G63 is great, but I mean, you want to get one of those new, dealers are trying to charge 300 grand. And I feel like you get more room with this one, more usability, more versatility, and honestly, more performance having a supercharged V8 as opposed to a twin turbo V8 or V12, whatever Mercedes offers, and then having that supercharged V8 from Range Rover. This is just the best option in my opinion for what you get, especially for the price. Again, like the Z06, you can get a Ferrari, you can get a Lamborghini that performs pretty similarly, or even a Porsche, but for the money, it's hard to beat because you're saving so much and you pretty much have similar, if not better, performance from the GM vehicle. So again, pretty impressive. With this one having less than 10 miles, I certainly didn't want to give it a lot of throttle, but it's definitely got the capability. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Cadillac Escalade V.